Hey y'all, got another SEC prediction video for you, and today I'm going to talk about the Texas A&M Aggies, a team that's immensely talented and a team that, in my opinion, is talented enough. Even though this schedule's brutal, I think they got it in them to even win 10 games. They're that talented. If some things line up, this team could have a special team in 2025. Now, let's talk about this team a little bit more. Vegas thinks their win total is going to be around 8.5 games, an 8 or 9 win team. And this team has a lot of people coming back from last year's team. 8 on defense, 7 on offense, an offensive line that's returning 5 starters. And that just helps so much in a conference as tough as the SEC to have an offensive line like that returning. You got a quarterback in Marcel Reed, who took over like 3 or 4 games into the season when Connor Wegman got injured, and he never missed a beat. He did a great job, especially running the football. He had over 500 yards rushing. Now, throwing the football, that was kind of the sore spot, 87th in the country in passing offense. But you went out here in the portal and you did the things I think, honestly, that could push you to the next level. You got Casey Concepcion, you got Carver out of Mississippi State. You got the pieces there to make that offense a lot better. Then you add on to that the fact that you got a running back in Le'Veon Moss, who was well on his way to getting over 1,000 yards rushing before he got hurt. So, you know, they got a very, very good team down there in College Station. Defensively, you took a step back last year. It was a subpar defense, just to be honest with you, compared to the years you've had before. But you got, like I said, 8 guys coming back. You got a seasoned linebacking core coming back. You got a good defensive line coming back. Defensively, I think this team is going to be a top 25, top 20 defense, honestly. Even with that under the schedule you're playing, I think this defense is going to do well. Think they're going to keep you in games, and they're very talented. So let's talk now about this schedule, the 12 games on this schedule. It's a tough schedule. Like I said earlier, ESPN has it ranked as the 9th hardest schedule in the country entering 2025. You open up the year against UTSA, a pretty decent team. They've had some decent teams over the last 2 or 3 years. They've got some guys that got NFL potential, and offensively they've had some good teams. They've got a quarterback coming back that threw for over 3,400 yards. They got some skilled players that are pretty special. But again, let's not kid ourselves. A&M should handle UTSA very easily. You're 1-0. Now you play Utah State. This is a team out of the Mountain West Conference. Bronco Mendenhall, he has returned to Utah. He was at BYU for several years. He was very successful. He beat my Tennessee Vols back in, I think it was 2019. So he had some good teams. And then he went to Virginia. He won the Orange Bowl, or he didn't win the Orange Bowl. He went to the Orange Bowl, and so with Virginia. And then he went to New Mexico last year. They had a really good offense. So it'll be interesting to see how Utah State does against A&M, but they're not going to win that game. A&M should easily win that game as well, 2-0. So you got a couple games that are some decent little tests, but there's no way you're going to lose those first 2 games. Then you go to Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. This is a Notre Dame team that I think is not going to miss a beat from last year. They're still really, really talented. They have a great coach in Marcus Freeman. They got a great backfield. They're returning their running backs. They're returning a lot of key pieces on defense. This is going to be a good game. It's not going to be a blowout. And A&M could go in there and win that game if some things happen, but I just have to give Notre Dame the edge in South Bend. This was a team that beat you by 10 last year in College Station. I think A&M's better this year, but I can in good faith give you the win over Notre Dame in South Bend. I give them the edge, so I think you're 2-1 after that loss to Notre Dame. Now you play Auburn. This is a revenge game. This is a team that beat you last year in Jordan-Hare. It's about the only thing Auburn did good at all last year. They beat you all. Now, this is the thing. They got Jackson Arnold coming from Oklahoma. He's going to be their starting quarterback. I'm not impressed with him at all. I think revenge factor. I think, honestly, you all are better probably overall. better than Auburn anyway, even though Auburn's not a bad team. They're a dangerous team, and they've got the tools to beat people. They're decent offensively. They've got a good offensive line, but I don't think Jackson Arnold's going to come into College Station and beat you all. And you definitely are not going to overlook them since they beat you last year, so I think you get that win. You're 3-1 after the Auburn win. Now you play Mississippi State at home following that. Mississippi State played you all pretty decent last year. You only beat them by 10, but Mississippi State's going to be bad again this year. This is at home, easy win, 4-1. Now you got Florida. Now Florida's going to come in. They're going to come in focused in this game. You embarrassed them last year in Gainesville. Marcel Reed had a really good game. He threw for a couple TDs. Le'Veon Moss ran for over 100 yards. So Florida's going to be focused. Florida's going to be better this year. They got a quarterback in DJ Lagway who has the capabilities to go into a place like College Station with 100,000 plus people and pick up a win. He's that kind of guy. But I just again, this is at home. This is in College Station, and I think A&M is just as good as Florida. I have to give the home team the edge in that game, and I think A&M overall is deeper and more talented than Florida. You combine that with playing this at home. I think let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think you just don't have one loss at that point after the win at Florida, and then you go to Arkansas. Now Arkansas is not an easy place to win. It's ask Tennessee fans, right? They beat us last year. I don't know how that happened, but they do have a good quarterback in Taylor Green, but I don't think Arkansas's head coach, I don't think he's going to make it past this year. I think Bobby Petrino's kind of the coach in waiting. And I think at this point, Arkansas is probably reeling. Now, I will say Arkansas always plays you all hard and always has a close game with you all, even though you all win 9 times out of 10 in this game. But this game, I just like A&M better. I like the depth. I can even see Arkansas being up in this game, but I think A&M will come from behind. I think they just got some key pieces there with running the football. I think Marcel Reed will make some plays, and I think you win that game and you beat Arkansas, and you still just have one loss at that point. Now you go to LSU. Now this is a team that you all really turned it on in the second half last year and embarrassed them. Marcel Reed, I thought, played his best game, maybe outside of the Florida game. Florida and the LSU were the best 2 games he played. He was phenomenal in that game. Just how he ran the football and knowing whether to keep it or give it was just phenomenal. Rushed for, I think, over 100 yards in that game and really blew LSU out last year in College Station. Now this year, it's in Death Valley. I think this is an LSU team that has the capabilities of winning 10 or 11 games. You got Garrett Nussmeier, who threw for over 4,000 yards. They did really good in the portal, bringing in some playmakers. And I think LSU gets you. I think you got 2 losses after the LSU game. I think it's asking a little bit too much to go into Tiger Stadium, probably a night game, and getting that win, especially since you beat them last year. So you got 2 losses after that. Then you go to Missouri. Now, Missouri is a sneaky hard place to play. Missouri, the stadium only seats like 50,000 people, but there's been a lot of good teams that have went into Missouri and lost. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's kind of like it's like a high school stadium and it kind of puts people to sleep or what. But Missouri's a 6 or 7 win team. Offensively, they're going to regress a lot. Brady Cook, their quarterback's gone. Luther Bird and Theo East, the receivers are gone. So offensively, I don't think they're going to be anywhere what they were last year. Defensively, they're going to be still pretty good. A&M should win this game. So I got you beating Missouri, even though it's at Missouri. And now South Carolina is going to come to College Station. Now, this is a team that wore you all out in Columbia last year. This was a South Carolina team that got hot, and nobody, I think, even saw them get into a bowl game. This team turned out to win 9 games in the regular season. Lenora Sellers become an all-conference player, become an all-star, and it's going to be tough to beat South Carolina. South Carolina's got some nice pieces on the offense. They got some nice pieces on the defense, but I'll tell you, I do think defensively South Carolina is going to regress some. They're not going to be as good, in my opinion, as they were last year. Offensively, they're going to be pretty good. but I don't think they're going to come into College Station and beat A&M this year. There's no A&M's going to be ready for that game. It being at home, I think A&M is deeper. I think they're more talented this year, and I don't see South Carolina going in and winning that game. I've got A&M winning against South Carolina. That's a really good win because South Carolina is, in my opinion, a pretty darn good team in 2025. Now, you got Samford. That's a horrible team. I think that's a FCS team. That's basically like having a bye week. You definitely got that win. That gives you your 9th win of the season. And then you finish off your season at Texas. This Texas team is probably the most talented team in the country, in my opinion. I think they're more talented than Ohio State. I think they're more talented than Georgia, honestly. They're and they're more talented than Alabama. This Texas defense is going to be generationally good, in my opinion. There is no weaknesses on this defense. They're going to be able to stop the run. They're going to be able to get after the quarterback. Arch Manning's coming in. I really like him. I think at this point in the year, he's going to be playing really well. He's got some good playmakers out there for him, too, that will help them move the ball up and down the field. So, with all those things being said, I think that's asking a little too much to go into Texas and win that game. I've got Texas winning this game because at this point, Texas is not going to overlook A&M. It's a rivalry game. College football playoff predictions, implications are on the line. SEC title implications are on the line. And they beat you all last year at A&M. If this was at A&M, I would give you all a decent shot, but I don't see you all going into Austin and winning that game. I've seen crazier things happen, but I don't think you do. I think you end the year at 9-3. So you are getting better. You're one win better than you were in 2024. I think Mike Elko shows the country that A&M is moving, in the right direction. I don't think you get in the playoffs this year. I think you're right there on the doorstep, and I think you do probably get there in 2026 or 2027 because honestly, at A&M you got everything you need. You got the money, you got the fan base, and the recruiting. I mean, you got everything. You got the coach with Mike Elko, and I think the future is bright for Texas A&M. But anyway, A&M fans and everybody else that's tuned in to watch this video, thank you all, and I'll talk to you all later.